It takes a few minutes, so we'll go ahead. All right. Well, thank you, and welcome to our interview with our local small business experts. This will be a short bi-weekly discussion that the Economic Alliance will be hosting to discuss topics such as small business lending, how to start a small business formation, including talking about C Corps, S Corps, LLC. What does that all mean? We're going to be talking about different topics like accounting for your business and L&I and many more. These sessions will be a short 15 to 20 minute with questions that we hope will answer some of your most important need to know questions. We will allow for time at the end for questions and encourage you to reach out to the Economic Alliance and or our industry experts to find out more about any topic you are interested in learning more about. Today, we will be learning about the L&I Small Business Office and its programs for small business. And we are excited to have Celia Nightingale MBA, Small Business Liaison and Small Business Manager, who will be sharing her wisdom and experience working with small business, not only in North Central Washington, but actually throughout the entire state. Welcome, Celia. Can you share a little bit about your background with us?
Yes, thank you, Ronnie. Love to. So I've been with L&I Small Business Liaison Office for about 8 years now. But most of my career has been in small business advising, training, and directing small business programs. I've worked for many years for the Thurston Economic Development Council. And for those of you who know Lou Blakeney, the Small Business Development Center advisor serving the Okanagan, I was his counterpart serving in the Olympia area for a number of years. I've also worked in commercial lending, accounting, and human resource management. And my husband and I have ownership in a few businesses, including a wheat farm in Eastern Washington.
Well, it sounds like you have the background and knowledge to help many of our local businesses who are looking to access information about small business services from L&I. Hold on just a second. I'm getting feedback.
Oh,
there we go. Let's get started with the interview. And today we are going to hear about some of the most common questions that Celia hears in her role when working with businesses. For all of you that are joining us via Facebook Live, please add your questions into the chat box. And if we have time at the interview or at the end of the interview, we will get to them and make sure that they get answered. Now to our first question. Celia, your L&I Small Business Liaison and lead L&I Small Small Business Office. What is the Small Business Office about?
Thanks. Well, L&I recognizes how important small businesses are to the state and their local communities. And we also recognize their challenges in learning about L&I requirements and services due to all the demands on their time and attention. L&I Small Business Office was created to provide outreach and education to the business community, to assist businesses one-on-one with questions and address their issues, and to bring forward to L&I staff any themes we pick up from the business community and suggestions for improvement to make it easier for businesses to work with us. Additionally, we've recently begun augmenting our own outreach efforts by partnering with employer-trusted organizations around the state, including the Economic Alliance, to get their help in providing L&I related outreach and education to their constituencies.
Can you tell us more about L&I, and again, it's such a broad agency that has a lot of different services, but can you go into a little bit more detail about that?
Yes. Some know L&I's full expanse, but many don't. L&I programs that touch small businesses are many and include workers' compensation, insurance reporting, premium payment, and injury claims, worker safety and health, including administering both the federal OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Act, and the Washington Industrial Safety and Health Act, employment standards, which is sometimes referred to as state labor law, construction contractor registration, plumber and electrician certification, prevailing wage and affiliated requirements with public works projects, permitting mobile and modular facilities like food trucks and mobile medical facilities, permitting elevators, boilers, approving apprenticeships, among others. There's a lot.
It sounds like a lot. Can you share with us why the different assortment of
Yes.
programs and activities?
Yeah, these programs came from the Washington legislature. So our legislators pass laws and then assign the job of administering those laws to state agencies. L&I's world is captured pretty well with the tagline, "Keep Washington safe and working."
Well, what are some of the things that small businesses need to know about L&I?
Well, a lot, I'm afraid. And I'm well aware that business owners already have an incredible load of what they need to know and do to be successful. Business owners have many demands on them and are constantly having to prioritize their time. And while it's tempting to put off learning about L&I when other things may seem more urgent, that can lead to sad outcomes. One thing important to know is that written into most laws administered by L&I is the presumption that business owners know the law. So L&I's compliance staff aren't typically able to just provide education or warnings when a violation is discovered, but instead they have to cite and or fine. That's not what we want. We don't want businesses to learn requirements through a workers' comp audit or a safety and health inspection, a workers' rights investigation, or a contractor registration citation. Some common areas of frequent misunderstandings are these. Who does state law consider your employee with rights for workers' compensation insurance coverage, overtime pay, paid sick leave, etc., versus someone you may consider an independent contractor for whom you don't have those responsibilities? State law is significantly stricter than federal, so federal concepts like the $600 minimum and providing 1099 forms have no bearing. Additionally, there aren't exemptions for friends, family, or other temporary helpers in these laws. Another frequent misunderstanding is what's required for safety and health. It's more than most small businesses realize, including the requirement that they have a comprehensive written accident prevention program that covers multiple areas, and that they provide employees safety orientations and regular trainings, even if their employees are working remotely from their homes. Another area of confusion is about the control employers have around their workers' comp insurance rates. While there's certainly requirements around quarterly reporting and injury claims, there are also opportunities many employers aren't aware of to help them control their workers' comp rates.
Just a follow-up question to that, Celia.
Yeah.
Is there anything that, is there any incentives for businesses to, if they haven't had an injury or if they haven't ever had a finding or anything like that?
Yes, there is a discount that small businesses can earn by having no compensable claims over a period of time. Compensable means claims that where L&I is paying wage replacement or paying for a partial or permanent disability. So yeah, the claim-free discount is a great incentive. And then also, if you bring your, let's say you have an employee who is injured, L&I will help pay for you to bring that employee back to a light duty job. So if a light duty job can be created so that they can work while they're healing from a more significant injury, we will help pay their salary. We will help pay any equipment or training needs they have, all in an effort to get them back to work as soon as they can.
Okay, that's great to know. I think that that's something that maybe some businesses aren't aware of, and it's always nice to find out different programs and things like that.
Yeah.
And so I think we're to our final question, and that is, how can small businesses learn about their L&I requirements?
Well, because L&I is partnered with the Economic Alliance, businesses will be able to learn some requirements through your communications and educational opportunities. And we're grateful to you, Ronnie, and your staff for helping with this outreach effort. But L&I also offers a lot of direct services and trainings. The Small Business Office provides free monthly L&I Essentials for Business webinars both in English and in Spanish. And believe it or not, they're entertaining while being thorough, and they get great reviews. You don't think of L&I as providing fun trainings. Andrew Bryan, the English presenter, is a master of dad jokes and puns, but also a master of what's important for businesses to know. There are other free webinars offered to businesses as well, such as strategies for minimizing workers' compensation premiums, the employer's guide to workers' rights, and more. Also, L&I offers many tools and services. Some are accessed 24/7 on our website, like access to injury claims information and affiliated documents. And others are offered personally by L&I experts. For example, DOSH, that's L&I's Division of Occupational Safety and Health, offers no-cost confidential consultations. A DOSH expert comes to your location at a time convenient to you and provides assistance in identifying and addressing any safety and health requirements, and in creating or updating your required accident prevention program. Some other L&I experts can provide you with detail about your workers' compensation trends and expected future costs. That helps with budgeting. Or review your company practices for their alignment with the Equal Pay and Opportunities Act. Or evaluate an independent contractor relationship to determine whether it meets the test so that workers' comp premiums and other employee protections aren't required. And naturally, I want to pitch L&I Small Business Office, where I'm from, which is available to address your questions and concerns with no risk. If there is a compliance issue, we won't report you to anyone, but we will provide you the information you need to get into compliance. You'll find you'll be able to get to the Small Business Office through the L&I website, that's lni.wa.gov. Search on small business and you'll find our contact information. So we'd be happy to help with any of that.
Well, it looks like we did get a question from Facebook Live.
Okay.
And that was, you mentioned employees and independent contractors. What should employers know about having volunteers assisting them?
So the law really does not support the idea of volunteers in a for-profit business. A nonprofit certainly can have volunteers, but if it's a for-profit business, L&I would consider them your employees. Some situations are your friend. I actually had a case like this. A friend was helping their friend start and launch a restaurant, and that individual, the helper friend, was doing it just to be kind, volunteer. And then they were injured. They were injured while they were there, and it was significant enough that it was going to cost a lot of money from a medical perspective, and they'd be unable to work. So they filed it as a workers' comp claim. They were injured on the job, and that led to the business owner friend now being in some trouble because he hadn't opened a workers' comp account. That's the kind of thing that can happen with volunteers.
Thank you. And then one last question. If you're a sole proprietor, are you required to have workman's comp or to have an account with L&I?
No, and it's not just with sole proprietorships. The owners of businesses, assuming they are significant owners, not like I own some shares in Microsoft or something, they aren't covered for these things, and there aren't requirements to have them covered. And in fact, if you want workers' comp as a business owner, you have to complete a form to elect to have it. It often makes good sense to do so, because medical insurance often specifically exempts work-related injuries. So having that coverage could be really helpful to that owner.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And we really appreciate you taking the time to be a part of our Business 101 interview with the experts. We get a lot of people coming to us and asking, especially when they're starting a new business and want to learn more about L&I, especially our general contractors and those that are going into the construction field on how do I do this, where do I go? And so we really appreciate you taking the time and for working with us to help get the information out as well. It's been very knowledgeable for my staff as well as myself to take part in these I gotta say, these videos are very, very fun. And, so it's not like getting on a webinar and not having any type of excitement. He does make it very much fun and it helps learning. And we have a fire going on in the background. So I apologize for that, or fire department noise.
Wow.
But again, I just want to thank you. And is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience?
Well, I just want to say thank you to Ronnie and to the Economic Alliance and all you do to support Washington's small businesses. And I also am grateful for this opportunity to share about L&I. There's much fear around this agency, and in part, because we hear about the folks who have those compliance issues. We don't want that. So please connect with the Economic Alliance, and they can handle things, probably, or inform you a lot on their own, or contact us. Either way, we really want you to kind of know what are the opportunities as well as the requirements so that your connections with L&I can be positive ones. Thanks.
In Celia's, she has a contact at the Small Business Office at smallbusiness@lni.wa.gov. And they can, if you contact them directly, they can get you the information, or you can contact the Economic Alliance. And we have received all of their pamphlets and have, again, went through a lot of their training to be able to provide you with the information. But again, disclaimer, we are not L&I experts. Celia and her team are the experts. And so we would definitely work with you and them to be able to get your questions answered. So again, thank you for your time. And don't forget to check our Facebook page weekly to find out more about our upcoming interviews and workshops. If you'd like to make an appointment with our small business advisor, Lou Blakeney from the SBDC, to talk about your new business startup ideas, or if you have an existing business that you need help with a marketing strategy or a financial analysis, or you're looking at selling your business and you need to set up a succession plan, feel free to give us a call. The SBDC offers free confidential small business services. And so if you need to make an appointment, you can contact us at 509-826-5107 to schedule an appointment. And the last thing that I would like to do is I am going to share briefly a upcoming workshop that we are going to be partnering with L&I on, and it is a agriculture safety requirements and small business resources webinar that will be held on October 13th from 2 to 3 o'clock. Learn from the Economic Alliance and Labor and Industries about workplace safety and resources for your small business. So you can again contact us at 509-826-5107 to register. Go to our Facebook page where you will have access to this really cool Q code thing that we're now utilizing to you could register from your computer, or you could register from your cell phone. So we'd love to have you join us to learn a little bit more. We'll have a couple individuals from the L&I office joining us for that. So we're pretty excited about this upcoming training, and we will also be hosting some L&I and Economic Alliance Small Business Roundtables that'll be coming up, and some additional trainings as well. So again, I want to thank Celia for her time on a sunny Friday afternoon when people are most likely getting ready to head out to the mountains or to do something fun, for coming to our interview today. So thank you so much, and I appreciate you taking the time to be here and to participate in this discussion.
My pleasure, and happy weekend to all.
Thank you.